Okay, this is my spinning delta T, and I'm going to be explaining today more how this thing functions in space and in counter space and in the point between. So this is what Tesla's 369 was talking about. This is basically what it is. It's just a triangle up and a triangle down. It can be called a Merkaba in 3D or Metatron's cube. This is the shape. That's the geometry, and when this thing starts spinning, what you're seeing is the two geometrical forms of the universe. You're seeing the hyperboloid, or the hourglass shape, which is the view from the side. When I turn it to the side, it looks like this because this thing's laying on its side. And then when I go to this view, you're seeing the magnetism side, or the circular, or the toroidal shape. Those are the two shapes you have to work with in the universe. That's what's manifesting or unmanifesting everything, with a point between, like a neutral. Okay, when this thing starts spinning, these are the geometries that it starts producing in space and in counter space. You got two dimensions to work with. Space is the magnetism side, everything you can see, bound together by the magnetism. On the other side, you have the dielectric. It's everything you can't see. This is where it's emanating from right there, is the neutral center. That's where the flower life pattern is produced. Okay, when this thing starts spinning, it starts throwing out all this geometry. So you're seeing the two patterns. This represents everything in the universe. I'll spin it up and show you more. Okay, when you're looking at it from the side, you're seeing the hourglass shape. That represents the dielectric pattern. That's counter space. When I bring the camera up like this, you're seeing the magnetic pattern. That's the circular. That's space. That's everything that you can see. In the center, that three-dimensional S-curve, that spiral staircase that you see at the center, that's the drain to counter space. That's the drain to the dielectric. Everything outside that is magnetism. The seen, the point in between, and then the unseen. This is how a black hole is functioning. Right down to everything else at a smaller scale. From the micro to the macro, that's how everything in the universe is functioning right here. That's how UFOs are being propelled. They're just being pulled into the drain of counter space. They're creating this situation in the ether for this effect to happen. It's just like getting pulled into a black hole and coming out in a white hole, or reverse. So they're not really flying huge distances to get here. They're just jumping into the dielectric drain and then coming back out. It's this simple. See the spiral staircase? That's the Fibonacci, 1.618. That's the golden ratio, because that's the pattern for magnetism. This is Tesla's 369. We'll get into more of that, because you need vortex math to really explain all this. And it's pretty simple once you understand it. It might sound complicated, but it's not. There's the dielectric, hourglass, the hyperboloid. Here's the magnetic, the donut, the toroidal. That's the magnetism. This is the dielectric. You need two things for electricity to exist. You need a dielectric component and you need a magnetic component. Electricity exists in two states simultaneously, and that's what this thing is doing. It's basically showing you supercosmic imposition. And that's how it's all working, just off of this. Nature's simple. The universe is simple once you understand it. 1.618 Fibonacci. Space and counter space. It's only two dimensions that you got to work with. This proves it.